Well, hello everybody and welcome to Boss Rush on this Friday afternoon at 12:30 here on the East Coast, 9:30 on the West Coast.
On the best coast.
My name is Chris Melisinos, longtime games industry guy and the host here on Boss Rush, and I'm so happy to have a co-host with me today and a special guest. So if we can go around the horn once again and introduce ourselves, we'll start with Dean up there in the corner. How are you, buddy?
Hey, doing good. Dean Takahashi. I'm the editorial director at GameSpeak.
Awesome, thank you. And
we have someone in the middle now, so I'm not.
It still goes clockwise. We all know how a clock works because we're all Gen Xers. So
I feel weird. I'm in the center square. No one.
That's what I was thinking. You're gonna get called first.
Don't you all know how this works yet? Okay, and then right underneath Dean, who do we have with us?
I am Susan Cummings. I'm the CEO of 10-6 Games in the UK.
Yes.
Yay.
And continue around the clock there. Who do we have down there in the bottom corner right underneath?
Hey,
buddy.
7:30, is that right? 8 at 9 at 9 o'clock. Hi, I'm Mark Delora. I am currently exec director at GDC Festival of Gaming and always an engineer, nerd, and game developer.
Awesome. And then occupying the center square, who do we have with us today?
Hey there, Darren Gladstone, game industry, Ronin, writer, analyst. I do a lot of things, and also working on a top secret project that I can't tell anybody about yet.
Ooh. Oh, I don't have a mysterious sound effect. Huh. Oh wait, maybe I do.
I will also with the Ghost Mansion.
I will also accept. I will also get the Beastie Boy lyrics too. That's also acceptable.
That's
no.
right. Yeah,
I'm surrounded.
Exactly. You are surrounded. That's right. Because strictly handheld is the style I go because I never rock the mic with the pantyhose. Okay. Hey everybody.
Is that actually a lyric? Or
Yes.
That's a lyric.
Yeah, to which I say, what?
Yeah, strictly handheld is the style I go. I never rock the mic with the pantyhose. Strap on my ear goggles and I'm ready to go because at the boards is the man they call on Mario. Okay. Yes.
Learn something new about you every day.
That
Chris.
is from Sure Shot, off of one of the greatest albums. So.
You could have just made all that up, and it would have.
I'm not going to sabotage you, man.
Oh, see, well, listen, listen, all y'all.
Pantyhose.
It's already a sabotage, so I'm going to put my glasses on here so I can see better. All right, so hey everybody, so glad that you're all here together, and I know we only have Susan for a half hour here. Today, but let's do kind of just a check-in here. Hope everybody is well. Mm-hmm. For those that are joining, please go ahead and pop in any questions, comments, news that we should be discussing as a group here. Let's go ahead and get going. We only have, like I said, Susan for a little bit of time, so why don't we roll straight on into the news? Oh, look at that fancy graphic right there.
Oh, you got a fancy news graphic.
That's right. We do. Oh. All right, this isn't actually a news piece that we need to start with. Why don't we start with Susan? What are some of the big news stories, things that are bubbling around that large brain of yours?
And now I'm going to forget the name of it because I keep forgetting the name of it. That game that was dropped during Game Awards that is getting hammered on Steam. Is it? What's it called again? Hellguard, yes. Sorry, I don't know why that won't stick in my head. I was quickly looking. I knew Chris was going to point at me. I'm like, what's the name of the game? Anyway, that's on my mind because I feel awful for that developer. I know Dusty a little bit. I don't know them well. And I watched the trailer and I plan to install it for nothing else because I just feel so goddamn bad for them about everything that's happening.
Yeah, what is
it
happening?
looks like
I only caught like half of it.
Okay, Lee explained it to me, but what he told me is they've made this big game, they're like ex-Apex and et cetera guys, and Dean probably knows the story even better. But so when they launched Apex, I guess it was dropped without any warning. Like there was no wish listing and stuff, and it works. And they were going to do the same thing again, and then the Game Awards were like, that Jeff was like, I love this game. I'm going to give you a free spot to put it in the Game Awards. And Dean, correct me if I've gotten this wrong. And people saw it and were expecting a big game, and instead it was some game they hadn't heard of, and it pissed people off, soured public perception of putting it into them.
Yeah, it was all in the handling of it, I think, and the timing within the awards sort of never became so important because which is Jeff always has a giant unannounced game at the end of the whole awards night, and everybody waits for that moment wondering, oh, what's it going to be? like your earlier one was Intergalactic, right? And so people expect only the best to come at the end of the awards, and Highguard was the thing that came at the end of this one, and what should have been just mild annoyance just turned into utter hatred from gamers for some reason. It's just sort of snowballed, right? And so everybody is annoyed that Highguard was the thing that they announced at the end. It's like, oh, this free to play game, it doesn't look so good, right? And so they got sort of kicked off with this high expectation that they could not live up to. And, if they had just come out in the middle of the Game Awards and said, hey, here's a new game, it's going to be free to play in January, and it would have gone over much better.
Yeah,
it's how this minor annoyance for gaming people turns into hatred is something that I don't like, and I don't understand, why this game had to get so.
Because, Dean, people are not allowed to like things anymore. That's why.
They got more than 100,000 concurrent users on their first day. Right?
Holy cow!
By the second day, it went down to 16,000. Right, and so everybody played it, tried it, decided they didn't like it, and then dropped it. Right? It's pretty bad launch in that respect.
Yeah, as someone that's actually been on the other side of this, where it has to be on the marketing team for some games, where it's for all of Jeff's good intentions here, obviously, like he believes in the game, and wanted to give it a spotlight. Like Dean was saying, having it at the very end sets up an unfair expectation spotlight for the game right from the jump. So they're already starting on a back foot, even though it was a nice offer from Jeff. And then they go radio silent to try to hopefully people will play the game, and that lack of anything didn't help matters either. And then it's just, the unfortunate truth is, it's kind of hard to kind of move that train in a different direction once it starts gaining speed. And so the hype train was really had hit the gas really quick, and it's just an unfortunate set of circumstances. If it dropped in the middle, if it actually released, shadow dropped in the middle of the show, this could have been a different story maybe.
Yeah.
But it's just so unfair. So I feel compelled to support the game and play it just as a developer, because that's like the worst horror story. Like that's like your nightmare, something like that.
Yeah. I would say that. I've played it. There is something there. It's just it needs to be refined, right? Like this is what I would consider. Like if they kind of build it as like a closed beta or an open beta or something like that, and said, hey, we're kind of building towards something, and kind of helped gauge those expectations a little more up front. Maybe they could have helped avert some of this, but it's just bad timing. And also there's definitely a pushback in the market of how many more live service games can the market sustain. There's only so many hours in a day, and they got to dedicate that time to something.
And I think there is a fairly big design problem with it too. I think they have large maps, but it's only 3v3, and so it's actually hard to find where the enemy is on the entire map. And you could sit around waiting for somebody in a corner to ambush them, but it may never come.
This is going to trigger me because I worked on a game like that. So I totally I'm not going to name drop the game, but I totally what Dean's saying right now is sending me back about 10 years. So.
Yeah. But reading through some of the criticism that players had were valid, right? And that's where a developer can really lean in and try to make the game better. But just the over-rotation on I haven't even played this game, and already we're going to kind of discount it, and we're going to review bomb it and everything else. It's terrible. If you don't want to play, don't play. Like, like there's a million other games literally for you to go play.
Yeah. Especially in a time when we know that the industry is hurting and there are like 50 people on that team that this could impact. Like, why are we hurting ourselves?
Yeah. I would say one other thing, we hear this with other forms of media, any creative endeavor, right? I think by and large, the overwhelming vast majority of people that make this art stuff don't set out to make a bad game. Don't set out to do something, right? Like they made it, right? If you don't like it, fine. Good criticism, fine. Constructive criticism, great. But just to see what happened there is just really unfortunate. And, hopefully they'll be able to make those changes and continue engaging the community and bring it back. And we've seen that happen before, right? In everything from No Man's Sky and those sorts of games before, right? So this is no way, shape, or form the end of that game, right? It's an opportunity to engage the community now and build.
I saw Cliffy B post, when did we start hating games before they came out? And then Mark Rain at Epic also sort of chimed in on that thread. And, it worries me that there's like an antagonistic relationship between developers and fans.
Yeah,
there's just no reason for it.
I wish that all those 100,000 people that showed up on day one didn't come in with an agenda from the jump, like to record footage and dunk on someone. If I do hope the team gets that opportunity to kind of like improve those features, pull a No Man's Sky or whatever, and stick it out. They just need to find that audience.
Mm-hmm. Yep, agreed. Mark, just so you know, I'm muting you every once in a while, and I'll take you off of mute, or you can click it there if you're good, buddy. No worries. Family first. All right, Susan, thanks for starting us off with that one. Now let's, which is, it's important to have that discussion. So seriously, thank you for that. All right, what other ones do you have? I know we only have you for another, 15, 20 minutes. Also, if there's other things that you want to go ahead and talk about before you jet out, let me know.
Jesus, that was my thing.
Okay, Susan had one and done.
I do.
Otherwise, my head is just buried in getting ready for GDC.
Yes.
We should talk about Dean's Crossfire event, which is going to be super exciting. And I saw that you're starting to make announcements about. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Tell us what it's about, Dean.
Well, possibly, I think we've got the sort of pairing of a one person that will be doing a debate with you, Susan. So we probably shouldn't say it yet, but because he still has to completely confirm. But I think we're having a good conversation there on the sort of. I think what might be better termed as not pro AI or anti AI, but maybe go fast or go slow. Maybe is more like I think what the debate could actually be. So we're going to do this on March 10th, 4 to 7 p.m. at GDC. We're a side event. We've got 2 or 3 other debates that will happen, relatively short ones during that time, and close it off with a panel and some networking. It should be a fun event. GDC Festival of Gaming. It is a still big deal, I think. And we had a long conversation this week with a guy named Mark DeLora about what's going to happen at
that guy.
We also did the story, or a bunch of stories on the GDC survey that came out this week as well. So maybe Mark can continue with some of that stuff.
All right, let me unmute him there. All right.
I'm hoping I'm not going to break my microphone because I'm trying to update the NVIDIA broadcast driver. So I can turn on
hey, you know what's always a good thing to do is to upgrade your rig while you're in the middle of a live stream. That works great.
I figured you were muting me, so I was like,
that works.
Nobody's going to notice if it falls over.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, let's see what happens.
I've got another thing. What do we think about the fact that Ubisoft's stock is so low right now? Like crazy low. I'm really curious about what's going to happen there. Like, is someone going to swoop in and buy them? Like, it's like $1 a share or something ridiculous.
The Guillemot brothers going to buy up the rest of the shares?
Last week's news was, definitely some sort of big shoe dropping at Ubisoft. Like, they did reorganize into 5 creative houses. And so I think that actually makes it possibly easier to sell off pieces of Ubisoft then, right?
Pieces of it,
yeah. So, the Assassin's Creed and Tom Clancy and all of the Far Cry properties are in one of those creative houses, but they have 4 others loaded with many other IPs that Ubisoft has had over the years, and they are run by different people, and then they are all sort of served by a production services unit that serves all those creative houses. But you see how they could be sold off in pieces. And they when they did that, they canceled 6 games, and they one of them was Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake, and there are a lot of fans for that franchise, but when you're Ubisoft and you are looking at like what has to move the needle for you, it is almost shocking that a game like that doesn't make the cut, right? Especially given the popularity of remakes, right?
And Beyond Good and Evil 2 is still existing, apparently.
You know what?
I don't about that one too much.
Actually, what is going to happen is that one is going to be a physical release, and it's going to release on a double-sided DVD with Half-Life 3. That's what I heard. So I think we float that rumor at GDC that,
We should check the date on that. Like, how long has that been in development compared to GTA 6?
I think maybe I want to say like close to 10 years, something like that. Maybe I could swear I heard about it first 10 years ago.
I think it'll be 14 years for GTA between the last installment, right? So,
yeah,
that's they're pretty close in development time. I think.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I know we're talking about the the survey that came out. And, obviously there's a lot of stories getting picked up around a whole bunch of data in there. It's important to remember too that it's survey versus also just, and a lot of that other market data in there, right? So it is a temperature snapshot of our community, directly, and take that data and we go and apply it against the rest of the market data to see where we are, right? But it does point to the sensitivities that we have in the industry right now, real challenges that we're facing. Important not to gloss over those. And collectively, how do we all move forward together to continue building a healthy industry, healthy opportunities, right? More games, more art, more people to play on more devices, right? So I don't have any answers for it. I haven't dug into the report yet.
But there was one set of things that made sense to me about the report, which is we've had years of layoffs, right, in the industry. Tens of thousands of people have lost their jobs. I think that has eroded a lot of trust in between game developers and their bosses, right? And this survey also showed that we're getting towards a majority of people who are not happy with AI among the game development community, right? So, it's a coincidence, right? But you could expect these two things to happen, right? Bunch of layoffs, companies embracing AI, developers not liking it, right? And then 82% of developers and game makers now favor unions in the U.S. Right, so there's like a through line there of like why do people feel the way they do? Well, these things are all consistent. Mm-hmm. So
I think that one of the as someone who's working in AI, I think that one of the problems is that, and I can see why it's happening, is like you said, people are losing jobs, and all the messaging from publishers I think who was it? Was it Crafton? All coming out saying we're going to be AI first. We're going to eliminate jobs and be AI first. And it's like, that's not, in my head, the point of LLMs and the cool things that we can do. So it's kind of giving the industry who want to do cool, innovative things a bad name. It's not all about eliminating jobs, but that's the stuff that the publishers are highlighting. And that's where they're putting their focus is how do we make games for less and cut jobs. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's part of the problems. That's all getting lumped together as one thing.
Yeah, it's a very broad brush. I mean, I'm saying this as somewhat like something like you go back in time, like Speed Tree. I mean, there's someone who's making more trees now because they have the tools to back them up. The things that I'm working on right now, we're doing hand drawn art and stuff like that, but we're using AI to help make our workflows better without actually replacing the human creative spirit. And I think that's kind of where I feel like a lot of this conversation should be going is, yes, AI should not be replacing jobs. It should be making your jobs faster, smarter, better. Mm-hmm. And I like to see more companies not seeing it as a bottom line cost cutting thing, but how to actually make more.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
And I agree with all those things.
Susan's company. Sorry,
yeah,
Mark.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Dean. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking that you did take an ethical approach on the art side of having, a human artist come up with the concepts for, how to create different AI characters, right? And so there's a human touch at the top of it, directing, just providing the art direction, really, and then when you use AI to generate characters in a way that amateurs would never be able to do, like you can't make these characters through using amateurs in any other way except through AI, right? And I think that there was another game called Bobium Brawlers announced this week as well. From Studio,
I saw that.
Yeah, Studio Telco. They did something similar where they said, let's take an ethical approach to AI and let's use it to enhance what our human artists are doing. And then, a similar character generation piece of it is the thing that can be done well by AI. And it's not killing off all the artist jobs in their company, right?
Exactly.
This really is about how do we use these tools to their best effect to remove what we call undifferentiated things, right? So I always liken it to a good analogy for people that are trying to kind of figure out where this kind of fits. Consider a company that does bricklaying for a living, right? And what you do is you have a team that comes in to basically put the scaffolding in place. So when you have those, bricklayers come in to do that facade, they're not spending a third of their time building the structure that allows them to go in and create this thing. And so when we think about it from an animation perspective, right, is how do you go ahead and use things to accelerate, let's say, skeletal creation and rigging. So that way you can hand it to an animator and take that workload off of their plate so they have more time to create better animation loops, more of those things, right? So it's finding the path forward that helps developers create more, create better, create faster without removing them from the equation, right? And that's
it takes something that we're not always very good at as an industry, which is communication amongst people. Like what I've seen from conversations I've had with publishers is big publishers. There's a lot of mandates, like we have an AI group and they're going to tell you all what you need to do. And here are the tools that we found. Go find ways to do this. No one trusts that. And someone asked me, I did an event in London. How did your team take it when you told them you're making an AI game? Well, that's why we set up the company. Like there was no, how did everyone take it? We made a collective decision to go down this route together. And that's very different. And I think if more developers would say, you know what you're doing doesn't make any sense to us, but we're going to find the things that do, and we're going to talk about it, and we're all going to be comfortable with what we're doing. And that's healthy. I mean, but that takes a lot of trust. It takes, small teams who, all trust each other and know that no one's trying to eliminate anyone else's job. They're just trying to do fun things. And so I think that's why the publishers are so behind in this, because they don't work that way. They make mandates, as opposed to experiment.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. There we go. I'm not going to make any further statements about that. There we go.
That's it. We're done. We figured it out.
We did it.
Interrupted Mark talking about his own report there, so maybe.
Mark. Mark's like, I'm good. There's the link. Y'all can go read it.
I was just avoiding talking because I figured I'd probably broken my microphone.
No. Listen to those dulcet tones.
Yeah, let's see if it works. I don't know. I've always meant to turn this little gadget on, and I've never done it before. So if you start hearing like FM radio or something, let me know.
No.
Sorry, the NVIDIA broadcast tool has some AI influenced noise removal system. So anyway, let me know if you hear Bowser. That's my point.
You're good.
Yeah. So we launched the State of the Industry survey this week. The thing that's stuck in my mind right now is the post that Amir Safat made last night about the difference between the survey results and what he's seeing out in the wild. And I think, Dean, you also, when we had an interview, you mentioned the LGBTQ percentage numbers seemed high compared to,
the women in the industry, right? Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's got me sitting here mulling. I think the challenge with surveys is getting enough people to reply back and fill out the entire survey. 2,300 is pretty huge, but those numbers for me also were a little bit. I was like, interesting. I don't know what to make of them. I think they've done a really good job this year of being more rigorous about the design of the survey, and Beth talked to that. But yeah, I have questions. So, it'll get better and better and better over time. I'm happy with what the team did this year. I think it's as you said, it's like a good indication of concerns in the industry. Obviously, the notes about Gen AI and about unionization are not the numbers themselves are not what matters. It's the tone and tenor that you get from that. It's like, yep, that's definitely right. Like we see that. And what are we going to do about that? That's really the question.
And a little bit more about what Amir said was that I think he thinks that in the U.S. maybe 8% of the people in gaming had been laid off, right? And that I forget whether he was measuring 1 or 2 years there, but GDC had noted in the survey that 25% of people said that they had been laid off in the last 2 years. But if you think about GDC and where the audience is, it's in California, right? And it's in San Francisco. And Amir's own data had also noted that California accounted for 47% of all the game layoffs in the world in 2025 alone, right? And so you could see why maybe GDC's sample might be very California focused and therefore sort of make the layoff percentage seem worse than it might actually be. So I think that's worth just noting that these are still severe numbers, however you look at it, and so I think those are the asterisks that are worth noting. Yeah.
And as the industry is, we're figuring out what those numbers look like, and that lay of the land. It's important to remember, every single person impacted is a family impacted, it's a life impacted, and those things, and to make sure that we're there for our colleagues and friends and people in the industry and help as much as we can, right, is important. And that's what I love about our industry too. So many people do lean into help. And of course I'm there as well to help friends, colleagues, and people, even if it's just to lend an ear or advice. It's worth what you paid for it. If you want to ignore it because maybe I'm wrong, that's fine too. But again, for everyone that's impacted by this, just how can we help?
I keep thinking about, we had the GDC, we did some dinners, a couple of dinners up and down the West Coast this past year, talking to executives in the game industry and getting their feedback about the conference. And there were a couple people, Gordon Bellamy and Adam Boyes in particular, who are really interested in finding new ways to increase the amount of mentoring done in the industry, and finding ways for people who have been in the industry a long time to help mid-career and new people in the industry, and do it at scale. not just ones or twos.
Jay Cohen mentioned this to me as well when I saw him at GDC last year. He was super interested in this too. Maybe we're all getting old and trying to figure out how to pass the torch. Right?
No, okay, hold on. No, that is not the way you frame that at all. What we are doing is we are taking the years and years of grinding in this industry to create art for masses, and we are going to impart that knowledge onto colleagues that are just as passionate today about building for that future. That's what we're doing. Okay?
You're making your game and it's bigger than 640K. I don't know what you're thinking. Like back when I was in the industry, that was enough for anyone.
You don't know what a config.sys file is? Okay.
Oh my God. What the? Yeah. No. Anyway. Yeah, I'm just kind of mulling that over because Adam in particular had a whole bunch of really good ideas, and I guess I need to reach out to Adam and be like, hey, how do we spin this up? And I didn't know Jay was talking about that too. I haven't talked to him for quite a while.
I haven't caught up with him since GDC, but I would catch up with Jay. We were chatting after Carter's memorial, and he had some ideas in that area too. Yeah.
Mark, I also thought maybe you should talk about how GDC is taking shape.
Hold on, but before we do that, I know Susan, you have to run, right?
I do.
Okay.
You want to know what I'm playing?
Yes, we want to know what you're playing.
So Lee and I installed Gotham Knights in our constant quest to dig up old things that are good for co-op. I mean, it's not that old, I guess, and so I played through what felt like a 10-hour tutorial in that game. It's insanely long, the tutorial. Like it went on and on and on and on. And then I thought I was done, and then I finally finished the tutorial. And it does a really good job of making you feel sort of cool and I don't know if anyone's played it. I played it because the co-op version of it seems to be quite well received compared to the single player. So I haven't had much time to test it out. We did one mission and failed.
Obviously, the tutorial wasn't very good.
My goodness.
We failed to disable the bombs, and that seemed like we had 5 seconds to do, and they exploded. And that was I blame Lee.
You know what? I bet it was Lee's fault. Somehow it's Lee's fault. That's all.
Absolutely.
This is just reminding me of Jason Rubin talking about dynamic difficulty adjustment for some reason.
Oh my goodness, yes. AI, anybody? All right, Susan, we're going to let you go. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Good to see you, Susan.
We have to figure out GDC. We have to figure out
We'll talk about it here, and then we'll also commit you to a whole bunch of deliverables for it since you'll be off camera, and that'll be great.
Yeah. We're going to task you.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good
All right,
weekend.
take care.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Okay, what can we have Susan do? Let's have a brainstorm.
Okay, all right.
GDC's taking shape though, and you guys had made different kinds of decisions that are interesting, I think.
Yeah, thanks, Dean. Yeah, I really appreciated getting to chat with you about it as well. This is new for me being a close part of this team. I've been close to GDC in various ways for decades now, but being part of the team and helping push it over the line, and I can't believe how much work it is. Putting on an event like this is exhausting.
Yep.
So shout out to the team. We checked in to kind of give an update. We wanted to talk about the survey results, and also Ashley walked through a bunch of the content, the executive program, the game plan, curated networking, which is going on now. We talked about how the expo floor is evolving into the festival hall, so it's going to be a lot more interactive. There'll be stages in there, lounges, places to hang out, snacks. It's going to be split into 5 different neighborhoods, so we hope that helps people find their way for what they're looking for in the hall. We've got the Kojima keynote, of course. Thanks for scrolling through that.
This young upstart.
I know, right?
Kojima. Let's see what he has to offer.
Yeah. I'm super excited about the evening events, of course, because I would be. Monday night at Oracle Park to kick off the week. Tuesday night developer concert. I keep saying conference. Developer concert with Austin Wintory and special guests. And then Thursday and Friday night are the IGF and Game Developer Choice Awards. So lots of things to do. If you're new to GDC, we hope that helps you meet people, find your way, have fun. It's as much a week of celebration as it is a week of learning and networking.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're coming to GDC, I mean, it's important to take advantage of every one of that. Is not the week to take it easy, right? You can sleep the following week. The week that you're there, there's so much going on, so much to see and listen to. Like, really important to stay engaged, right? For that week, and we're going to be rolling around. And I'm already going to commit the crew to. We are going to do another Boss Rush evening one, and we'll again do it from a hotel room, and it'll just be cacophonous and crazy, and we'll just get more and more people to come into the space too. But
post-party Boss Rush. Yep, sounds good. I'm down.
No alcohol needed because our brains will have melted by then.
Fried.
Yeah. One thing I liked about the structure, I think, was the notion of neighborhoods on the expo floor.
Yeah.
And that there's 5 of them or so, and a bit of a cozier way to break down what is normally a vast collection of random things.
Help people find their way. I'm really excited about the Commons, which is something we haven't had before. So we're calling this area GDC Commons. It's kind of like, it's in the cross hall between north and south. So we're going to put, it's like a comfy place for you to meet your friends, right? And hang out. Alt Control GDC will be there, so that you'll be walking through it and you can play. And the podcast studio is going to be there. It's just going to be a good hangout spot. I just keep thinking, like, every time that I wanted to try to meet somebody at GDC, typically what I do is I say, let's meet up outside of South Hall. But if you're over in West Hall, you're over in North Hall, it's a pain in the butt. Plus, that's not exactly a small area in front of South Hall. So being able to meet in the Commons, I think, will be helpful.
Yeah.
And if you have a stage in each of the neighborhoods, and you could put Chris Melisinos up to give a speech or something.
Exactly.
That's right. Hey, everybody, thanks for showing up here today. And I
was just going to put a milk crate down at the bottom of the escalators.
That's not a problem.
You're stuck on that escalator for at least a minute. So, it's probably an opportunity.
Yeah.
The 1 minute speeches.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's the game jam version of a speech. Yeah, ready, go.
All right. Well, speaking at GDC, Amir had posted this earlier this week. So I'm going to be doing a fireside chat with Amir to close out the Community Clubhouse Day. And this is the topic that we're going to be, or the title of our talk, which is Why We Still Believe, a conversation. And this is really about, through all the pressures and challenges and things like that we see in the industry, why it's still the greatest artistic industry to be in, and why we're really still hopeful about where we're going. Going to talk about the cycles that we've been through before, how we've made it out, and some opportunities to look at new spaces or things we may not have considered going forward. So this is about not ignoring where we are, but saying where we are. We've gone through things like this before, and this is why we're still so super excited and passionate about the industry. So hopefully people come on in. And
when are you guys doing that?
We are doing that on Tuesday, March 10th at 3:40 to 4:40 at the Community Clubhouse event. And then, of course, we'll be around afterwards. I think there's a happy hour afterwards. So we're going to stick around and talk to people. But this will just be a chat between Amir and myself. So, yeah.
Where's I see that it says there where it's at, but it was quantizing the page for me. Does it say the location on it for Community Clubhouse?
Esplanade, 158 South Hall. And Tuesday, March 10th, 3:40 to 4:40 p.m. And this is for... The intended audience is everyone in all caps. If you're a game developer of 30 years or student looking to break into the industry, or everyone in between, this is the conversation for you. This is about being together. So,
nice. Looking forward to that. I'm glad you're doing that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad that Amir's able to join us. And then Matt Anderson said, Boss Rush Live? Maybe. Maybe. So we're working on some stuff. We're working on some
Dice?
stuff.
You're all going to Dice,
no.
Right? Am I going to see you there?
No.
What?
I am going to Dice. Yeah.
I am not going to Dice.
Darren's muted. Darren's saying, yes, absolutely.
Darren, you're muted, buddy. Let me see you. There you go. I got you unmuted.
What was I saying? I will be in Vegas. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. I love how you said dice-esque or dice-ish right in your LinkedIn, which is great.
And Chris, you're not going to be there?
No, GDC has decided to happen much earlier in the month in March. And so
February.
Yeah. Yes, but that means that we are basically into February, folks. So we've got a short month to get everything ready to have a million things going on. So unfortunately, I'll be missing dice.
Okay.
But we'll be at GDC to see everybody, and that's where we'll go ahead and run it. And I realized, too, with the announcement on the GDC page, you may have to make a change to one of the titles there because, as Dean Takahashi mentioned, Julian, right, just joined Delphi Interactive at CTO. So congratulations to him.
Nice.
Moving over there. So, really interesting to see that move.
Julian decides to send me a picture. I put it in the story, too.
Oh, yeah.
Wait. Oh, this picture here.
Yeah, a picture of him.
Oh, he didn't send you a picture? No, clearly not. I was going to say, that's Tim Apple. That's not Julian.
That's one of my little pet peeves. People send me press releases, but they forget to send the image, and I'm going like, every story that comes in, hey, do you guys have an image to go with this?
Yeah, that's helpful.
Yeah. So anyway, congratulations to him, and congratulations to Delphi for having Julian move over there. So great. Congrats to him. Hey, another piece of news that came out of the GDC survey, I think we should talk about. Darren actually brought this up before we went live here, which is Steam Deck ranks 4th most developed for-game platform.
Oh, right. I was like, holy cow, I got to go buy one.
I'm incredibly biased for this because I am a handheld gamer first and foremost these days. So I kind of feel like it's a wide open market. And you take that and you combine it with the fact also, and granted, it's more numbers from the survey that I thought were interesting. I don't know if it's in that story, but according to the survey, the top 5 platforms for PC, for premium games, PC ranks number 1 at like 88%, and a distant second is the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I think there's a if you look at the launch dates of the latest hardware, you would say PC hardware out now. If you look at the consoles. 2019.
That's true. Good point.
Wait a minute. What's wrong here?
Well, apparently that RAM that I had a couple years ago is now I'm selling that on the black market. Apparently.
Yeah, but you can.
Well, that was what I was going to say. Was that the number one Steam killer out there is dynamic random access memory prices.
Yeah.
So we're just getting out of this, and we're about to get a bunch of new Valve machines, right? These home console, big screen TV, I guess. Mirror machines, I guess.
Well, no, actually. So the neat thing about this, and I've been a huge proponent of what they're doing here. I mean, you have this very thin client OS that's going to sit on top of a Linux kernel, and so what they're talking about with, I mean, obviously the Steam Deck's been around and proven itself. There's the Steam machine, which they're resurrecting what they tried doing years ago, and then you have the Steam Frame, which is, I mean, it's interesting timing considering Meta just kind of backed way out of the VR market. Yeah. But the one thing that I find fascinating about that is you could take an SD card that's in your Steam Deck, pop it into the Steam machine, and you have your library ported over immediately, and it works. Yeah. You could put it in the Steam Frame, and it'll support the VR games that it supports, but also you could use it like an AR screen, like those X-Real glasses. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting that they're kind of creating a new wave of devices that are kind of push people to their storefronts even more, and they're making it as frictionless as possible.
So, if I may, is this the equivalent of the Apple infrastructure in mobile and content, right? Meaning that now you have a box that sits under the TV, an interface that sits in your office, a portable that goes with you, and a VR headset, all in a single ecosystem where all services are basically kind of connected and pushed through that back end, very much like a walled garden environment that Apple enjoys across all of their platforms.
Yes, I'd say yes, but I think one of the distinct differences is that they don't make this a true walled garden,
right?
And so I think that's the biggest selling point that's kind of attracted so many PC gamers, because they're, a lot of them largely are, I mean, I'm speaking for myself at least, huge proponents of no borders.
Yeah, yeah. Also, I need to mention here, since we invoked his name and he showed up in the Twitch live stream, is Gordon Bellamy. So, what's up, Gordon? Yay! Gordon is over there, and we'll have to get him on and have him join us one of these weeks here. But hey, Gordon, and Teresa Long also over there in on YouTube there. So thank you, Teresa, for coming by too.
Well, I would say, before we pronounce VR as dead, yesterday I was in an Apple Vision Pro FaceTime call with like 5 people, and it was like amazing. It feels like you're in the room with these people talking.
Oh man, yeah.
FaceTime call, and that integration between like FaceTime and Apple Vision Pro, whatever happens on the phone, I think you're right that there's a whole lot of value in sort of bringing together an ecosystem for people and making things like that no-brainers. So I would say that that was, say, the best experience I've had with a virtual call of any kind. Right?
Really?
Yeah. If anything, I would say, I mean, I'm kind of with Dean. I'm not saying, if anything, I'd say VR is recalibrating. And VR/AR, because I mean, I think a lot of people might actually appreciate the ability to have, like, put game objects or any kind of objects in the real world, so they're not like as completely shut off. Just speaking from my own personal gaming habits, try playing triangle strategy in mixed reality mode, and you're having like the entire game like in your living room, and you're seeing as if they're playing pieces. So I mean, that's just one example, but
yeah, there's
a lot of options.
No, it is awesome. One of the things we still, though, have to contend with is the friction of VR, right? And that's really where the biggest problem is. We have this, this brain fidget spinner that's always in our hands, and it's like, oh, I'd really love to go ahead and jump in and play some VR. But let me just see what's on this thing first. That's always the problem.
Well, that's exactly that is the huge problem. Basically, it's like the greatest strength and greatest weakness is that it cuts you off from everything else.
Mm-hmm. Well, the other one too is I've heard some people go, I have a VR headset, and I live by myself, but I just feel foolish wearing it. I'm like, you're by yourself. What are you talking about, right? So there's still some of that gap, right, that we have to close. And that's why the movement towards, this type of form factor versus the bigger ones are, of course, I could care less what people think of me, so I have no problem being foolish in public or anywhere else, right? So it's like, more VR headsets. Let's go. 2, 3 at a time. Why not,
It just totally reminded me of like John Radoff at DICE. Was it last year or the year before? He was walking around with the Apple headset on.
Yes, I do remember that. I would just be, worried of hurting myself, not necessarily.
Nicole Lazaro does that too, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
All right. But since we're talking about hardware like that, let's talk about this hardware. Oh, Main Gear drops gaming PC Retro 98.
That's hilarious.
I love this so much.
Right?
Or anywhere else,
right?
So, more VR.
So talk to us, Dean, about this. You had a chance to.
I learned about it, and it does look really plain for a design of a hot new gaming machine. It looks like the kind of machine that I had way back in the 1980s. It's I do think that it costs $3,500, right? No, actually, no. I'm sorry, that's the Alienware one. I don't remember exactly.
Expensive. Here it is. Retro 98 configs.
Yeah,
it's $3,500. Yeah.
No, but no. Okay. I'm sorry. No, hold on. Retro 98 config is $24.99.
$24.99.
With the 580, it's
Retro 98, $34.99. $49.99. $9,799.
Yeah, it could be like 90% of the cost of the GPU and the memory now.
Yeah, I think that the later ones, if I remember correctly from the site, they're saying that it limited edition, like super limited run for those, that hence the cost. And I gotta say, like, I've been a long time fan, and I know Wallace Santos from back in the day over at Main Gear. Those guys always have some really granted, there's not like Alienware, Falcon Northwest. They always have these great designs, but Main Gear always has like it feels like they're having fun. Right? They get it. They're just having sense of humor. I mean, like that is exactly the machine that I had, minus the on the outside at least.
Yeah, but the problem is, Darren, I want those drives to work. Like I would be the person that would pull that apart and put real floppy drives in there.
That is a huge miss. I would expect a working floppy drive
or a zip drive at least. A parallel zip drive.
Tape drive.
Don't get scuzzy on me.
No, I'm sorry, excuse me, Dean. A parallel zip drive that I have to use a Raspberry Pi Zero as the controller.
Main Gear has this program too where they let you bring your own memory, BYOM, and so if you just want to steal some memory out of somebody else's machine and get your memory that way, I think that's
bad.
It's interesting.
But I do,
solution
Dean, you talk about that, and the prices of RAM, and I think clearly something we're facing right now, and how crazy out of control it is. But also we're seeing other pieces of game industry, ephemera and things like that, and older systems that are exploding all of a sudden. The price of the new 3DS XLs on eBay are going for $300 to $500 a piece. Corey in the House, yes, Corey in the House, the DS game, I guess the community went ahead and basically reviewed this thing. It is now the second highest rated game on Metacritic. This Corey in the House game for the DS. And so now those copies are selling for like $200 on eBay, right? We're seeing Zunes and original iPods. Those are being scooped up like crazy. We're seeing the rise of digital media, of physical media for digital assets on the rise. And part of the discussion right now that we're seeing with like millennial generation is, man, I listen to the same music all the time. Why am I paying Spotify every month for it? I'll just go get a really cool throwback Zune or iPod, just buy all that music once and throw it. Like, how many times does my retro playlist change? It doesn't. And so we're starting to kind of see these sorts of changes, right, happening to our always online, always connected and subscription-based spaces. And the reason I bring that up when we're talking about RAM, this is the perfect time where if you've got a game coming out that isn't like a render-crushing, massive RAM hog, now's your shot. Go ahead and get it out there because people are going to have systems that perfectly align to it. And there's an opportunity to go ahead and grab some of that oxygen in the room, right?
But also think of some of the best sellers in the past few years. I mean, Balatro, Vampire Survivors. There's definitely an appetite. I think this actually coincides nicely with the rise of independent studios and single dev studios and Animal Well, another one that just popped in my head. But I mean, think of all these games. Like everyone's, for all the people that are, left high and dry or decide to leave a big studio, they have this opportunity now. There's the tools out there. Yeah. Whether they're making something on Pico or they want to make something on Unreal or on Unity, you can dial things down and hit these bigger audiences.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, speaking of throwbacks and content, I just have this one story up here from Mark. Yahoo and King team up to publish a Candy Crush inspired puzzle game.
Yeah, I saw that headline too, and I was like, "What? Isn't Candy Crush a puzzle game?"
No, it's a special
inspired puzzle game.
Yeah, it's a special single level, like you solve this puzzle for the day, and then the next one unlocks type of thing.
Let's go Wordle like.
Yes, kind of.
Now I know why you're showing me that.
Yes.
Now I get it.
Mark and I, maybe we save that discussion for the GDC After Dark
let's
boss
do
rush,
that.
where maybe we have a couple of drinks in us, and the discussion gets a bit
spicy.
End of our hour. I did want to go ahead and make sure that once again we talked about this. If you are somebody that's been impacted, through, changes, company layoffs, these sorts of things, please make sure you go check out this incredible community, the Always Supporting the Games community site. If you haven't been there before, asgc.gg. And, one of the things that's, I think it's just amazing about this site, right? It was Amir Satvat's games community site. And at the beginning of the year, he's like, look, this is not about me. This is about our community. It's about our industry. And so it's been renamed to Always Supporting Games Community. So they didn't lose the URL and everything else. A ton of resources, information for you to go and take advantage of and to comb through, including people that will, review your resumes. You can book one-on-one time with people in the industry and stuff to talk through opportunities and things of that nature. Please, these resources exist for you. This is an incredible set of resources there. I should also mention that, let me go ahead and make sure that I get the URL right. So Karen Clark, who is also here in the chat. Hi, Karen. She founded Game Mentor Online back in 2006. So go ahead and check out that resource as well.
Nice.
Right. Let us know how we can help. We have a lot of work left to do in this industry, a lot more art that needs to be made, and we need more people doing it across the board. So that's the last piece of news that I want to talk about. So why don't we go ahead and talk about what we... Okay.
I want to do a 10-second thing. We had a fun story this morning from a company called Tesoro XP, and they're doing local retailer funded rewards for free-to-play games. And so you can go to Burger King and buy like $5 worth of food or something, or something like Burger King, say, and then you get like a credit for that, a reward in your game. And it is all seamless. Like you have to only give them your credit card number for the game, and then they will see when purchases come in from that credit card number, and they will credit you.
Man.
So they made that just to track how many times I go to Burger King.
Right. Burger King could also then, give you a free burger the next time, right?
You're like, sorry, honey, I gotta go to Burger King today because I gotta get my power up in my game.
Yeah,
See ya.
and then Darren just keeps getting these messages for, hey, Cheerios is heart healthy and helps to lower your cholesterol. So
I'm just ping-ponging back and forth. You know what? I just want to have Happy Meals again. Can we have Happy Meals again?
It's kind of like an offer wall thing, right?
Yeah.
But the problem with offers is that you can only sign up for Netflix once, or you can only sign up for Discord, once, and then 99% of the other things you sign up for are other games, right? And so the free-to-play game company is going, do I really want to churn my players out and send them over to some other game just to get a few cents?
Yeah,
right.
No, that is a really really
Whereas
cool
Burger
approach.
King, you just can go there every day, right?
You could.
So wait, who was the sponsor for this show? Was it
exactly.
We're
Sponsored by
sponsors.
Sheets.
Yeah, exactly. We're looking for sponsors.
That's right. Yeah. We're looking for sponsors. We want to go ahead and make this thing even bigger than it is. So let's go. Very, very cool. Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and roll into what are we playing?
Got another thing.
All right. What are we playing, gang?
I'm playing Dispatch.
Yes.
Nice.
Delightful.
Is it your
right? Yeah.
Is it your first time playing it now?
Yeah.
It's so good. Are you playing it on the Switch or PC version?
On the PC on Steam. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Works great on Steam Deck, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Speaking of, of Steam, there. How about you, Darren? What are you playing, buddy?
Well, I'm not going to go for my usual of picking a really obscure indie game, although there's plenty of those that came out in the past week. I am playing Cairn, though, and it's the new rock climbing game.
Okay.
The art style is kind of like almost looks like a kind of cell shaded-ish, kind of cartoonish, and it's more like a free-form mountain climbing adventure, and it's kind of relaxing. It's like that. That's what I like. What I like about it. The thing is, you're kind of like you go up to cliff faces, and you're controlling each individual limb, going to and you plant them, you move on, you set a baton every once in a while, and you keep going.
Somebody called Chris Hacker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
It's like there was a game, was it Jusant that came out last year from Don't Nod, a similar kind of vein, but that was more linear. This one feels like it's more exploratory, and it really is just you versus the wall and trying to find the crags to kind of go up. It's so far so good, and apparently the reviews are reflecting that too.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. How about you, Mark?
I'd try that. Well, I've had an exhausting week of GDC related stuff, so I don't have anything new, but I do have something old that you probably haven't seen. So I was talking with Edmund Tran, who lives in Sydney. We were doing an interview on Monday, and we were talking about the game scene in Melbourne a little bit, and it reminded me of this game called Streets of My Town. Have you guys heard of this?
Streets of My Town.
It's from Institute of Games. Stephen Dupont. I had him he came and was on a panel I did at GDC a few years ago. And what I love about this game so much, and I mean it's a social impact game, but the idea is that playing this game you learn about the services in your area that the city provides, things you can take advantage of. So it's customized for your town. That's why it's called Streets of My Town. And it was just so brilliant. I just think about this game all the time as being like an easy, light, fun way to learn more about your community through a game. And so, yeah, I point people to this all the time. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. I'm not even sure you can play it on here anymore, but you can check out the trailer and you can learn about it. Things like this, we need more things like this. Games should spread, and this is a good example.
Mm-hmm.
We can use, games to tackle, important conversations and needs and things like that in society. Something that Mark was, very heavily focused on during the Obama administration, right? Of how do we best use this art form to not only entertain, but also to teach and allow people to ask difficult questions within these things and give people a safe space to be able to be more vulnerable, right? And explore those things. So I love that. Absolutely love that, man. That's great.
Awesome.
Yeah. Very cool.
I have to ask you, can you hear Bowser snoring? Or
of course. Yeah, a little bit. No, but only when he does that big snore in. Only that big.
Only the big one. All right.
All right. So
I might have to reboot to get this driver.
No, you're good. You're good. So this is what I'm not just what I'm playing, which or I should say have played, but this game was just announced for the Switch, which, look at this. This is the Disney Afternoon Collection. Mm-hmm. And this is literally like a giant spoonful of happiness that you can just dump straight into your brain. And this is what, the team at Other Ocean does so freaking well all the time. Just the music.
Makes me want a cupcake.
Yes, it does. It makes you want a cupcake. But you've got all of these classic Disney games, everything from the animation of everything. Look at all of these games. Right? So it takes you back to, when these were super important cartoons in the world. But what they also have in here is the music from the different ones. So you can just go into DuckTales and go ahead and start playing the music. So you have your own little jukebox there. You also have their gallery, which is something, again, that Other Ocean has really become known for doing. So here's your pencil to pixels, and they tell you about the different characters and the concept art and then how it emerged in all of these different games. It's so freaking good. If you grew up with with any of these cartoons or just a fan of this type of treatment, this is an incredible package to go ahead and get. And they just shipped on the Switch, so definitely go check it out. It's so freaking good.
And didn't they add like a couple extra, just exclusive to the Switch version, a couple different, like Bonkers, I think was one of the games?
Perhaps they did. This is the PC version because that's the one that I had fired up here, but the same treatment and everything, and just really, really incredible. So, again, they are, I think, the best studio in the world doing these types of reintroduction adaptation of this content, right? Just extraordinary. So, thanks to our friends over there at Atari and Other Ocean for constantly bringing so much damn joy all the time to us. But all right, that's going to go ahead and take us out. We are right up here at the end. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Thank you to Susan, who was able to join us for the first half hour. And I want to thank Dean and Mark, of course, and our special guest, Darren Gladstone, for showing up today. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks for yourself in.
And thanks for everybody that joined us on the live stream. And make sure you're letting your friends know about this. We do this every Friday. Again, to our colleagues and stuff that that are working in this in current state of the industry and may have been impacted. Please reach out. Make sure you avail yourself of those resources that are out there. We're here to help as well. But that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this week. So again, thank you all so much for spending time with us, and we'll see you next week on Boss Rush. Bye, gang.